thing is, until you can erase 3 Februaries, shut up. Bang! Quality over quantity. LeBron has beaten some of the best competition in NBA history. He's the GOAT emoji. I will not cuss. I will not cuss. I will not swear. I will not swear.
Where sports is the base, life and fun are the results. This is the Brian Snow Show.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Friday edition of the Brian Snow Show as I come to you live from Edinburgh, Indiana. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Mike Debate is on the way. He will talk some NFL draft stuff with me. But let me send, as I constantly do, a note of thanks to everyone that has contributed to the Snow Strong Family Initiative. And I cannot thank y'all enough for your contributions in helping my wife and I get situated. As you know, I have survived pancreatic cancer. It was supposed to take me out, but it didn't. A little surgery from Dr. Attila Nakib at the IU Med Center has led to this, and it's led to a chance for us to reset. And I want to thank y'all for all that have contributed so far. There are a lot of names for me to list. I won't have the time to list them here, but I will list them on air another time. And I've already thanked them through GoFundMe, and I can't thank y'all enough. So if you see the address, for those of you watching on CSTV now, and those of you watching on YouTube, the address is at the bottom of your screen. But if you want to help contribute to the fund, it is gofund.me/E283E211. That's E283E211. That's the address that you need. Well, we're going to talk NFL draft stuff here in a few minutes. As I said, I got Mike Debate, the senior insider for Snowman Multimedia Sports, on the way to talk all things NFL draft. We're going to focus on a couple of teams. And beginning next week, we're going to prep you all for the draft, as I have Mike on each and every afternoon previewing what everyone needs and what you should do, what all the teams need to do for the NFL draft. So let me touch on this before Mike gets here. Y'all remember that trade that the 49ers made with the Dolphins to get the number 3 pick, and they selected one Trey Lance? Well, it seems like, and the 49ers are fielding calls to trade Trey Lance, but I haven't seen anything to confirm that they are going to trade him. But it seems like they're in the works to do so. And like it was mentioned earlier today, it was mentioned on Snowman in the Morning, I beg your pardon, that they're trying to recoup the picks that they lost. And that's going to be tough to do, because it's just going to depend on A, the trade partner that they find, and B, what they have to offer. Now, a lot of things have happened with the 49ers. They have gotten a lot of compensatory picks to help out matters, but are they really going to be able to recoup what they had before they gave up the farm for Trey Lance? Because though Brock Purdy has rescued the 49ers, you don't know if he's going to be healthy enough to start game 1, part 1, and part 2, you don't know if he's going to be healthy at all to play this season. It's really going to depend. Let me welcome Mike Debate to the program as we talk all things NFL draft. Good afternoon, Mike. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Brian. Always an honor to close out the week in style with you here, and can't think of a better way to do it. We can't wait for this week coming up.
Man, next Thursday night is the NFL draft, so I will begin locally here with the Indianapolis Colts, and they got a bunch of problems, because some problems that we didn't identify that would happen along the offensive line became very porous as the season went along. The quarterback situation, that is something that needs to be talked about a lot. And then the injury bug hit them, especially it hit one Jonathan Taylor. Let's start with the quarterback position. If there is a big time quarterback that's available for them at 4, because we know the first two names on the board, CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, a question was posed yesterday, and I'll pose it to you. If CJ Stroud, and I'm focusing on CJ Stroud because another AFC South team is interested in him, if CJ Stroud falls to the Colts at 4, do they pull the trigger and take him?
Yeah, I mean, I think the argument is yes, they do. And I think CJ Stroud is one of the more gifted throwers of the football in this draft coming up. And I think that to say that he's going to fall to 4 is a little bit maybe over aggressive at this point. But one thing I'll tell you is that we know that quarterbacks can fall in this draft, and we've seen it for any reason. Sometimes we don't know right up until the day of the draft that this is going to happen. I could very easily see CJ Stroud falling to the Colts at number 4. And if they do, they'd be wise to take him. Again, the fundamentals to me show that he can play in pretty much any type of an offense, and I think he would be a good fit in Indy.
Should CJ Stroud fall to 4 and the Colts do take him, what happens to Sam Erlinger?
Well, that's the question. You know, Sam Erlinger right now, I think, is a good prospect. I think he can lead the Colts if they have to by default, if he's going to come in and be the starter for this team. But I don't see him projecting as a long-term solution for this team. Whereas CJ Stroud,
We're having a few connection problems with Mike Debate, and we just lost him. We're going to try to get him back in here in just a moment. But let me ask the folks. Let me ask the folks in the chat that are tuning in as we wait for Mike to come back to us. If you're the Colts, do you take C.J. Stroud should he fall to number 4? Do you take C.J. Stroud? I have always been of the we lost Mike. We're gonna hope to get him back here in just a moment. Do you? And I think we got him back. Apologies for this, folks.
we do. I greatly. I'm here, Brian.
Okay, good. But I've been of the contention that CJ is not ready, but if he falls to the right team would not be the Texans. You would think it would be the Colts.
Absolutely. And again, I'm not sure where I got cut off before, so if this is a little bit repetitive, I do apologize. But the reasons that I think CJ is a better fit for the Colts than a team like the Texans is their penchant for looking for quarterbacks that have very good passing game instincts. That's going to be where he shines. If they are looking to incorporate a scheme fit right now that is going to be a spread offense, very play action heavy, I think this is where he can shine. So I do like him in Indy more than I like him for the Texans right now. I think it's just a better fit, and I think it's a better option for them. So I definitely hear where you're coming from in terms of CJ Stroud being NFL ready. There are, instances where, maybe the anticipation gets a little bit over aggressive. I can see that. There are some circumstances that teams are going to have to work through if they're not ready. But at the same time, I also think Stroud's upside gives him an upper hand over a lot of the prospects in this draft.
Here's the biggest thing that Stroud can lean on. His name is Jonathan Taylor. He's getting back from an injury. He had a record-setting season 2 years ago, even though the Colts did not make the playoffs. because of their own undoing. They lost the last two games of the year, which they should have won. But when you can turn the hand the ball to number 28 and you can do that 25 times a game, it also helps you develop as a young quarterback. You know, Peyton Manning had Edgerrin James to lead on to lean on. So the advantage is there for CJ Stroud should he fall to number 4 for the Colts. The biggest advantage has to be Jonathan Taylor.
Absolutely. And like you said, there is something to be said about a young running back, a talented running back being, benefiting from having a young talented quarterback on his side. And those two work hand in hand. And especially the type of game that CJ is predicated on, being very heavily, reliant upon play action. You need a solid running game to be able to set that up better than Jonathan Taylor to be able to face him for that. So this is a hand in glove fit. And I think Indy is very, or at least they should be, I believe, interested in trying to pair these guys up for the upcoming season. But again, it's going to be the way the cookie crumbles on Thursday night. Does he fall to number 4? That's the big question. Does Houston lay off him? You can make the argument, does Carolina lay off him? I know everybody is automatically penciling, Bryce Young in as the number 1 quarterback chosen. I don't think that's a 100% given yet. I still think there is a jury out on that. So that's going to be dependent upon what the other teams are going to do. But Indy right now is in a good position to be able to make this happen.
I'm going to make a strange comparison, but I know you'll understand why I'm making this comparison, because Bryce Young, quarterback from Alabama, high up on a lot of draft boards, just the same as, 1-2 Tagovailoa was before his injuries. And Bryce Young he's got the tools. Don't get it twisted, folks. He has the tools. But the problem with me is if you look at one game, and that's the game against Georgia in the national championship game, he was not at his best. And those tools did not come together. His decision-making was not together, especially on one of the last passes he played, which was picked off by Keely Ringo and returned for a 76-yard touchdown to seal the national championship game. So if you look at Bryce Young, where would he fall, and which team would be the best fit for him?
Well, obviously, if you're talking Bryce Young and you're talking a scheme fit, he's going to be ideal in a spread offense. And so you look now at either Carolina or Houston. Obviously, they're top of the line. Those guys have the first dibs on whatever quarterback is going to be selected. I'm hard pressed to say that I think Bryce is a better fit for any of these 3 teams, including the Colts that we're talking about, over someone like a CJ Stroud. But in my opinion, if you're going to go with someone as, having a very high football IQ, accuracy, ball placement, I think Bryce Young's best fit is probably with Carolina. And the reason why I say that is because Carolina is probably the most desperate need of a quarterback that can not only come in and has the physical tools to be able to be physically impressive, athletically impressive, but also mentally, emotionally impressive. And I think Bryce Young does fit that qualification. There are size concerns without any question. A lot of people say he's scheme specific and he's only good in a spread offense, but ultimately, if it's been a while since you've had a very cerebral signal caller, I think you're probably better off going with that type of a guy. And Bryce Young, to me, is one of the more high football IQ ready for the pro level in terms of some of the prospects that we're looking at.
Speaking of a cerebral signal caller, the Panthers are led by one in the form of Frank Reich, who, of course, was the coach of the Colts for a while, 5 seasons worth, before he was dismissed. And now you get Frank Reich in Carolina. How would that fit? If Bryce Young were to be taken by the Panthers with the number 1 pick, how would those two fit together in Carolina?
Well, I think right now the biggest key and the biggest question right now when you come to Bryce Young specific than he is. Work the deeper portions of the field, but also work the intermediate areas of the field as well. Bryce does a pretty good job at doing both, but you need to find that blend. You need to find your sweet spot, especially in a Frank Reich offense. When you mentioned it, someone who is a very big-time cerebral play caller, someone who can really coordinate an offense from the quarterback position. That's not an easy thing to do, but Reich is someone that has the ability to do it, and we saw that coaching style in Indianapolis. We know he's going to be taking that with him to Carolina. So at this point, if you're going to do that and you're going to make him fit, you have to get on the same page. These guys have to be in sync. They have to be ready to go and ready to call the same type of game, because if there's going to be any type of confusion out there, or you have a coordinator or a head coach going in one direction and a quarterback going in another, it's a recipe for disaster. I watched it last year with the New England Patriots, where Mac Jones is going one way, Matt Patricia and his staff is going another, and it just led to disastrous results on the field. I don't see that happening in Carolina if Young is their quarterback, or even someone like a Stroud, or even an Anthony Richardson. If he does decide that they're going to go with athleticism and upside, I think they're going to listen to Frank, because he has that gravitas, having played the position, to be able to dictate what these guys are going to do.
And dictating what these guys are going to do, dictating what the team is going to do. Let's go to number 3 and look at the Arizona Cardinals. They've signed Kyler Murray to a big extension, but you and I mentioned it for the past 2 seasons. The biggest problem for the Arizona Cardinals is simple. Who are they going to give the ball to 25 times a game?
Yeah, absolutely. And until they figure that out, and until they take some pressure off of Kyler, who I know a lot of Cardinals fans love to poke at and say, well, maybe he's not ready, maybe he's not the guy. I don't know if it's going to be a situation where you can make the argument one way or another after this year, even. But he needs some help. And to me, I think someone like a Bijan Robinson makes a ton of sense for these guys. It's difficult to say, because there's so many needs on that team right now. I know their defense could use someone like a Will Anderson to come in and really get their opportunities that we've mocked at this point, to them several times. But I think they really should be taking a look at a running back to try to take some pressure off of Kyler Murray. And Bijan is the most elite runner in this class right now. I think it just stands to reason that he'd be someone to take a look at.
Bijan Robinson, the best running back in this draft, should fall to the Arizona Cardinals. And I repeat the word should, and I capitalize it as well. But who are we talking about here? We're talking about the Cardinals. My friend Michelle is listening from Arizona right now, and she has the same question. Matter of fact, she just texted me and posed this question to you, so I'll send it back to you, Mike. Do the Cardinals take Bijan Robinson? Should he be available? This is from Michelle in Phoenix, Arizona.
If I'm the general manager of the Arizona Cardinals, yes, absolutely. Because I think that there is an opportunity for him to fit into any type of offensive scheme that you want to run. He's best in zone run concepts, but if Arizona decides that they're going to run a little bit more in terms of, man situations where they're going one-on-one and trying to get the offense spread out a little bit, I think he can definitely complement that as well. There's a lot to like about this kid. His athleticism is just phenomenal. He's explosive. He knows how to elude defenders. Got great speed, prototypical build, everything that you'd want in a running back, including his ability to receive out of the backfield and even throw blocks. That's how good this kid really is. There's injury concerns, absolutely. Downplayed, and it's also not something that can be ignored. But at the same time, the upside is tremendous, and he is head and shoulders above most of the other runners in this. I like Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. There's no question about it. And I like Charbonnet as well. But I also think that Bijan is that much better. I can't see Arizona doing a better job of being able to draft him if he's available.
Man, I'm looking at the later rounds in the draft, and we'll get to that later on in the hour. Staying in round 1, another team that I want to look at that made a lot of significant strides, and they can make more significant strides and compete for a division championship. That would be the Detroit Lions. They're picking at 6 on a trade from the Los Angeles Rams. What does Detroit do to fortify their team and get them back to the level where they were back in 1991?
Well, I think there might be, believe it or not, I think they might be closer to that level than most people think. I think it's difficult to make that statement without, I think, a lot of people snickering. But the Lions are starting to build some things in the right direction, and if they are serious about wanting to contend, I can see them going in a number of different ways. Most people will tell you their biggest need is on defense. They need a defensive tackle, they need a linebacker or a defensive lineman, even a cornerback, someone along the edge. That's where you really need to build in this team. If I'm in the first round and I'm looking at options, I know a lot of my colleagues kind of scoffed at this when I said this in our mock draft that we did earlier this week for Locked On, but I go with Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois at the cornerback position. This kid has a chance to be a franchise cornerback for so many seasons, and I really love the selection of him. I take him sixth overall. I think he's that much worth it. I think you can look at what he brings to the table. I put him as 1 and 1A with Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon right now. Just to me, one of the better prospects in this draft, and someone that's a real can't miss for them. If you're looking down the line in the first round, because they do have a couple of first rounders, you look at the defensive line, and I think that's somewhere where they could go. I also like Brian Brees out of Clemson, the defensive lineman there. I think he's key versatile, someone that can come in and be a contributor to the Lions. But if I'm Dan Campbell, I'm definitely looking at defense in the first round with at least one of the picks, maybe both.
Send your questions to the chat, folks. If you're checking us out via YouTube or if you're checking us out via CSTV and CSTVnow.com, you can text your questions to 919-247-3622. And what we're working on is having a lot more peripherals for the folks watching in Reno, Nevada, or from Reno, Nevada, as we bathe the West Coast, I should say. Our good friend Be Easy checking in, saying keep up the great work. We appreciate it. I want to look at this running back. Speaking of Illinois, I want to look at a running back by the name of Chase Brown, their leading rusher and leading receiver out of Illinois, who played in a bowl game this year. Who would be the team that would snatch him? Would he be one of the hidden gems on the board?
Yeah, I think he can be. I think this is a real rotational running back, someone that can really succeed in a zone-heavy scheme. So if you look at a team that loves to run the zone and wants to have this kid run on the perimeter, that's where he's going to fit most. He reminds me a lot of Raheem Mostert, a guy that I know you're very familiar with. I think there's a similar style there and a possible, maybe mold fit if you're looking at what this kid can do on the field. But he's an explosive runner and he's got track-level speed. That's definitely obvious when he gets around these soft edges, and he can really explode dynamic acceleration, and he's quick to break the ankles of pursuit in the secondary. So if he gets deep into the defense, this kid can elude some of the faster defenders he's going to see at the safety position and even in the cornerback position. I like Chase an awful lot. I'm glad that you mentioned him because he does have the ability to be a very solid pickup for a team that loves to incorporate some concepts into their running game.
12 out of 13 games, Chase Brown has had 100-yard games, and he had 6 consecutive to start the season. And I know the fans going to come out at me, so I'm going to bring it out right now. Imagine Chase Brown in red and gold in that scheme in San Francisco.
Oh, I'd love it. I would really, really love it. He's got the feet light enough to be able to get the cuts that loves his running backs. He is a very good, solid contributor in pass protection. He's not the type of guy that you're going to give the ball to when you need a run. And I'm sorry to say it. I mean, not at 5'9", 205. That's not how he's built. He's going to get rotated out in those situations. But if you have a player and a running back that's capable of handling those power runs, this is a phenomenal complementary player that can do a lot. He's got, again, great explosion and someone that can receive out of the backfield. And he can break for the big play when you want to. Don't let the size fool you. This kid is definitely capable of giving you, definite big yardage if he gets enough space in front of him. So I think it's a good fit in San Francisco, and I think he'd be great there.
Looking at the bottom of round 3, the 49ers have 3 picks, and these are compensatory picks, and these are huge. 99, 101, and 102. That's all San Francisco. Chase Brown could fall to that, and I say again, imagine Chase Brown in San Francisco in that scheme, and the biggest thing that Chase Brown would do, he would be able to spell one Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, without any question. And I think that there is a lot of similarities in the way that he could fit in the way he did in college, fitting in with someone like a Christian McCaffrey, who is a very giving running back, and he's a very giving teammate in terms of being able to impart wisdom and counsel, like you like to say, Brian. But I think he can be a high volume runner. I think he can take a lot of pressure off. I love C-Mac, one of my favorite players to watch, but there is injury history there, and the injury bug does bite him throughout the season. Chase Brown has proven that he can be a bell cow if you need him to be. So this makes a lot of sense for San Francisco. Again, it's going to be how they're going to use their mid-round capital, but I think they'd be very smart to consider him with one of those picks that you just mentioned for all the reason that we talked about, because he does fit very well into this type of system.
And they've had the success over the course of their franchise history to find that running back that would be strange for them to pick, but also it would be a great pick for them. Hello, Roger Craig, Tom Rathman. Lately, we mentioned Raheem Mostert. Of course, he was picked. He was picked by Cleveland, but San Francisco signed him. He gave him 4 great years. But now they got a bell cow in development in the form of Elijah Mitchell, who can really, really toe the rock for them. But to have Chase Brown backing them up would be huge. Look at the quarterback position for San Francisco. We all know that's in a flux right now with the surgery with Brock Purdy. There's a chance he may wind up having Tommy John surgery. My friend Chris Dietz mentioned that as well. But San Francisco made an under-the-radar move, which a lot of people scoffed at, and I know some of your colleagues scoffed at it as well. They signed Sam Darnold to a 1-year deal, and now they're fielding calls for Trey Lance. If there's a quarterback that can succeed in this system, and we talked about this a couple of years ago, it's Sam Darnold, because now he has weapons.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We talked about this last week. I still remember him talking about the Ghosts comment and the Ghostbusters. And I had a lot of fun with that, writing about that during that period when he was quarterback in the Jets. But look, this kid is obviously someone that hasn't had the type of protection, the type of weapons around him that allowed him to showcase his skills. Can't make that argument in San Francisco. He has a solid offensive line in front of him to block, to keep him clean in the pocket and allow him the opportunity to maneuver outside of it. He's got the weapons in terms of tight ends, wide receivers, and running backs that can not only carry the ball, but also receive it out of the backfield. If there is an opportunity for Sam Darnold to really resurrect his career, San Francisco is the perfect place for him. And I think this is a great signing. I think it's a smart signing. I don't think it necessarily reflects a doom and gloom for Trey Lance in the San Francisco 49ers uniform. But what this does is it gives the Niners an opportunity to go with the player they feel is the best fit for them until Brock Purdy comes back. And when that happens, that's when you're going to see the franchise quarterback retake his spot. But trying to keep that spot warm, I think they could have really done a lot worse than Sam Darnold. I've always been higher on him than most because I thought he got a bad shake with the Jets and just ran into a bad situation in Carolina when they unloaded and they picked him up. So this is an opportunity for him, and I think he takes advantage of it.
Darnold ran into an awful situation in Carolina, and he couldn't stay healthy on the field, just the same as McCaffrey. And unfortunately, that injury history is there. Let's stay with the 49ers. What do they do to replace Mike McGlinchey at right tackle? Is there a tackle in this draft that they can pick up and immediately insert him into that position the same way they did with Mike McGlinchey, drafting him out of Notre Dame?
Well, I mean, it depends on where you want to go and how high up you want to go. I mean, McGlinchey is a tackle right now that I think is one of the better. I mean, obviously, he was definitely one of the better tackles in this free agent class, and he was paid as such and deserved to be. But if the San Francisco 49ers want to go big time and they really want to go, high up into the draft, I don't think they'll be in the running for guys like Jones, Harris Johnson, Skoronsky. Those guys are going in the top half of the first round. Anyway, so one jump into me, if the Niners are draft position, try to take him with an early second rounder. DeJuan's gaining some steam from what I'm hearing in certain circles, so I expect him to be taken beforehand, but he would be an amazing fit. You want to talk about an athletic guy with a tremendous wingspan and just overwhelming Yeah, good luck trying to get around him on the wing. That's going to be very, very difficult to do. Obviously, is someone that's getting an awful lot of Presley. I think he goes a little bit beforehand. One guy that I'm keeping an eye on for the North is I always like him a lot what I've seen in San Francisco because it's tired to draft based on potential. So complicated on these two organizations. Even on Warren McClendon out of the University of Georgia, someone that's going to go early, but great size, 6'4", 300 pounds. But again, someone that has great upper body strength, short area agility, competitiveness at the point of attack. I like this kid with the right development and the right system. I think he could maneuver his way into being a solid tackle. He's going to start on the right side. That's where he's best. He's very versatile in terms of being able to do different types of offenses. So if you're looking for a chameleon type of tackle, I think McClendon definitely is worth a second look.
What really solidified that line for San Francisco is when they signed Trent Williams from the Washington Redskins, because he really solidified that line to the point where now they can concentrate on the right side of that line. Jake Brendel has re-signed. Spencer Burford is there. But at the same time, signing Trent Williams has allowed the 49ers to really concentrate on building that line. So if there's a place they're going to go in this draft, they're really solidifying that offensive line. We're going to take a break. Let's see if we get Mike a better connection. So let's take a break, and when y'all get back, we'll talk more of the draft with our guest, Mike Debate, our senior insider for Snowman Multimedia. We'll have Mike reconnect, and when we come back, we'll talk some more draft after this.
So this thing called sports, it has fans again. It has full stadiums, full arenas, and more. And you want to be a part of it, don't you? Of course you do. If you begin to scour the resale market, there will be tickets available. And what you need to get those tickets that you want so badly is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the app available to you that lends a hand in helping you get the tickets that you want for the events that you want. SeatGeek rates the tickets on a 1 to 10 scale, and the best part is the tickets are vetted for authenticity, so you know what you are getting and you know you are not getting scammed. And now you can save even more by using the code SNOWMAN and getting $20 off with your very first purchase. Yes, you can do all of that with the power of SeatGeek, helping you get to the games that you want, so you fans can fan. So let's all fan.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Hey everyone, I'm joined by my old friend, Mr. Ellis Williams, aka Mr. Biggs. You called me and you told me, you said, man, I got Car Shield and it worked. What made you get it?
I have this old SUV and I know the manufacturer warranty is about to run out. I don't want to get stuck with expensive car repairs.
Right.
So I gave Car Shield a call. Coverage was very affordable and there was no long-term contract. A few months after that, transmission went on my car. I took it to my mechanic. They called Car Shield and saved my family and I $2,400.
CarShield is America's #1 auto protection company. Their administrators have paid out over $1 billion in claims and cover most vehicles from 5,000 to 150,000 miles. You'll receive 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental reimbursement at no additional charge.
Give CarShield a call today before it's too late. Remember,
Car Shield cars go farther.
Protect yourself now against expensive auto repair bills. Call 800-513-9263.
Welcome back. Brian Snow here with you. Mike Debate's connection went out. He's trying to reconnect via mobile, so he'll be back with us in a couple of moments. Talking all things NFL draft, and I got plans of having Mike on each day next week, and also next week. What's going to happen is that I'm going to do a draft special and cover the entire NFL draft all the way through the weekend. Focus will be on the two teams in my household, the Colts and the 49ers, but we're going to have everyone send in their questions. Get your questions ready. Send them in now. You can email them to snowmanmultimedia@gmail.com, or you can text them live throughout the show at 919-247-3622. I'll set up a special text line for everyone that wants to talk NFL draft and whatever they want to do. You can do that as well. As mentioned, I'm waiting on Mike Debate to reconnect with us as we're halfway through the Brian Snow Show this afternoon. And just in case he doesn't make it back because technology is trying to be a royal pain, I want to thank y'all for tuning us in this afternoon. I really want to thank you for tuning in to Snowman in the Morning this morning with everything that's going on. I have since made the decision that I know I've said this a couple times before. I know I keep repeating it. I keep saying it out loud, but I haven't stuck with it because I love being out and about. I do. I love being out and about and doing this show, but I think the time has come for me to really start working from home and really start working from my office. It's just a different vibe for me, and the vibe that makes it different is I get a chance to get some downtime. And the thing with me is, especially coming off of a major surgery that I had a year ago, I unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I know it takes a lot of hard work to achieve the goals that I want to achieve. It takes a lot of guts to have um to have the it takes a lot of guts to do what I want to do and achieve the goals that I want to achieve, but I haven't been doing it correctly. And the reason I haven't been doing it correctly is because I've been so hell bent on, gone into everything that I'm doing. I have not had a chance to rest. I mean, fully rest. And that's on me. And I know that's on me. I realize that's on me. There's so much that I need to do, want to do, have to do, that everything has melded and mushed into that have to do and need to do, that I haven't given my want to do any kind of consideration. And I apologize for that. This is from the heart. I apologize for not being myself in full. And again, a lot of it's my fault because I thought, I was doing good, getting back on the air and everything like that. But at the same time, I have not been I am not where I need to be. And as I said, as much as I love being out and about and being amongst people, because that was one of the things that I loved the most about doing the show when I was up in Terre Haute, uh, being among people, being among everybody. I have to put that on hold for the time being. And the reason I have to put that on hold for the time being is that there there are times during the day I have to get some downtime. And with the plans that I have, especially with the deal that we have for CSTV, and we're doing the paperwork for that, and getting all that together because officially on Monday is where everything is ready to go and ready to take off and ready to go from there. Um, this is the time to get everything together, sound wise, video wise, especially with the green screen backdrop that I do in my home office, and just have everything together, have it situated, especially with the station that I'm creating, the network that I'm creating, and just just having it all, just having it all there. Just having it all there. We're gonna take a break. We're still waiting for Mike DeBake to come back to us so we can talk some more NFL draft. This is the Friday edition of the Brian Snow Show. We're back in a minute.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play. Nerd Focus, smarter than energy.
So this thing called sports, it has fans again. It has full stadiums, full arenas, and more. And you want to be a part of it, don't you? Of course you do. If you begin to scour the resale market, there will be tickets available. And what you need to get those tickets that you want so badly is SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the app available to you that lends a hand in helping you get the tickets that you want for the events that you want. SeatGeek rates the tickets on a 1 to 10 scale, and the best part is the tickets are vetted for authenticity, so you know what you are getting and you know you are not getting scammed. And now you can save even more by using the code SNOWMAN and getting $20 off with your very first purchase. Yes, you can do all of that with the power of SeatGeek, helping you get to the games that you want, so you fans can fan. So let's all fan.
The Atlanta Falcons pick 8th in the NFL draft on Thursday, and there are a lot of questions. We mentioned there's a lot of questions surrounding the Indianapolis Colts. There's a lot surrounding the San Francisco 49ers, but there's a lot more questions surrounding the Atlanta Falcons. And the biggest question that surrounds the Atlanta Falcons right now: who gets the keys to run the offense? Is it Taylor Heineke? Is it Desmond Ritter? Who do you do? What do you do? What do you do with that position? And it's so much of a key to find out which way you need to go. Well, for me, and I mean this, for me, you got to go with Desmond Ritter. I really feel you got to go with Desmond Ritter as your quarterback, because you want to have. Well, let me say this first. Taylor Heineke is good. He was good as a starter with the Washington Redskins, but be that as it may, I don't know if Heineke was given a good chance in Washington with the Redskins. B, he didn't have the he didn't have the offensive line around him that needed to protect him, and yet he led them to damn near a win against Tampa Bay a couple years in the playoffs. But I think you got to give Desmond Ritter the keys. This is just my opinion, because you spent a lot of you spent a lot of capital, and you took a tremendous chance on a kid that you think could run your offense for the longest time. I think Ritter should get the keys as quarterback. But the other thing you have to worry about who's going to get the call at the running back position. You know, I talk a lot about offenses, and that's a key problem you have to solve because you don't want Ritter throwing the ball 45 times a game unless you know he's going to throw it to Kyle Pitts for 30 of those times. But it's something it's something they have to answer. Now to answer the draft question for the Atlanta Falcons, which way do they go? I think they have to go to I think they have to go offensive line. You know, that's what I think for a lot of the teams in the upper part of the draft because a lot of their offenses failed throughout the course of the year. Eric Kwan joining us here. Eric, where are you signing in from so I can give you a proper shout out? Where does Will Anderson fall to? You know, that's a hell of a question. Will Anderson, the outstanding linebacker, the all everything to for Alabama. I beg your pardon. Where does he where does he fall? Where does he fall? You know, as strange as this sounds, and I know this is going to sound completely strange, Eric, to answer your question, I believe he falls to the Chicago Bears because they were going, if they didn't trade out of the number one pick, they were going to select him with the number one pick, which would have been a tremendous mistake. Now, the Bears need help on offense and defense. And again, I go back to the point they need to get an offensive line because, as my buddy Victor says best, you had nothing but 300-pound mannequins in front of Justin Fields. And if you don't protect Justin Fields, then Justin Fields is going to be running for his life again, and he's going to be running out of Chicago. He's going to be running clear out of Chicago. And I got a note here in front of me. I want to apologize to everyone. We have had technical difficulties with Mike Debate this afternoon, and I do not want anyone to think that we're not going to bring him back. He is trying to reconnect, which led to me saying why I'm going to be doing the show from home to really give a good presentation. But Eric, to answer your question, I think he falls to 9, and I think he falls to the Chicago Bears, which was the original speculative pick of the Bears fans anyway. And I say the fans and not the experts because the experts are now thinking defense and not offense and not offensive line, especially. Eric Wan says, I'm in Los Angeles currently. Okay, Eric, good to have you aboard. Eric, who's your team? And I will answer the Hawk TV's comment. Heineke will be a backup. I think he always will be a backup. Hawk TV coming to us from the Washington, D.C. area. I think he always will be a backup. I mean, I love Heineke and how gutsy he was in playing with the Redskins, but he was signed as a backup, and Desmond Ritter, I believe, should get the keys, and I believe will get the keys to that offense. So to answer that question, Heineke is going to be a backup. And to answer my own question, Desmond Ritter should be the starting quarterback Las Vegas Raiders at 7. Which way do the Raiders go? Eric, let me get your thoughts. Which way do the Raiders go? Do they go offense? Do they go defense? Because they need help all over the place. And I have a strange answer. I say it's strange because it is so off the board. But I think the Raiders should go for a tight end. And I have the best tight end that's not going to be in the top part of the draft for them. If you look at South Dakota State, especially now when you got Jimmy Garoppolo there as your quarterback, if you look at South Dakota State, there's a fellow by the name of Tucker Kraft that needs to be looked at because Tucker Kraft is a version of Dallas Goedert. And Dallas Goedert has become very, very valuable with the Philadelphia Eagles, just as he was at South Dakota State. So you have to look. They have to look at a tight end because, especially when they lose the tight end, when they trade a tight end by the caliber of one Darren Waller. The only problem with that is Waller's injuries. How is he going to hold up? Keep the questions coming, folks. We got about 9 minutes left before we sign off for the afternoon. And Eric Kwan says, I will want them to take a cornerback or move up to quarterback because of Jimmy G's durability. I agree. I totally agree with that. But who's the cornerback that they should take in this draft? This is why, and I'll explain again why I'm thinking tight end with the Raiders. Tucker Kraft is the guy. Tucker Kraft, I think, is the best tight end, the best underrated tight end in this draft because Tucker Kraft, as I stated a moment ago, reminds me so much of one Dallas Goedert. And Dallas Goedert has proven to be a great asset for Philadelphia were it not for his injury problems. And they're looking to solve those problems. I think Tucker Kraft would be the best pick for them. I am not sure on which cornerback would be the best for the Raiders because that entire secondary needs to be overhauled. That entire secondary for the Las Vegas Raiders needs to be overhauled, and here is why I say such a thing. The Raiders got torched. They got absolutely torched with big play after big play after big play. Whether it be the game against New England, whether it be a game against San Francisco, whether it be the game against Seattle or against San Diego, aka the Los Angeles Chargers. The secondary got absolutely scorched in more ways than one. The secondary got absolutely scorched. And that back end is something that the Raiders really need to protect. And that back end is something the Raiders really need to get some depth at because when you only have one or two cornerbacks that are consistent enough in trying to stop whatever needs to be stopped, especially plays over the top, that's where the Raiders got burned the most. They got burned, I beg your pardon, in plays over the top. But it's really going to depend on which way the Raiders want to go. Eric, let me ask you a question if you're still with me. Which cornerback do you think they should take? Who would be the best fit? And let me ask this about the folks in the chat. Who would be your pick for your team? The Hawk TV from DC. So many have you heard about Gamblegate 2.0? 5 NFL players have been reprimanded for their involvement, one of which plays for Washington. I just got that news. So I'm going to hit that really quick before we get on out of here. Let me thank Mike Debate for coming on. Let me thank Hawk TV and Eric Kwan and those of you that have really helped us here on this show. But why are so many players? Why are so many players? Gambling. You're getting paid anyway. You're getting paid to play the game. You're getting paid to play the game. Hawk TV asks, would you call an audible and update on Washington's draft plans? I don't know. Devon Witherspoon, but I believe the Lions would take him at 6. I believe that also. If the defense where the Lions want to build, they want to build that defense. And considering how the Lions finished their season last year, especially knocking Green Bay out of the playoffs, their hated rival. After knocking Green Bay out of playoffs, man, they're playing with a lot of confidence. The Lions are, and they should have that confidence coming into this season. And I believe, just as Victor does, the Lions should be the team to watch in the NFC Central Division, aka the NFC North. Ryan McCoffey joining us from Saratoga, New York. I'm hoping Pete Skoronski falls to 13 for the Jets. Mr. McCoffey, I love you dearly, but good luck with that. Good luck. Good luck with that. I think Skoronski is going to be gone before he gets to 13. Hawk TV, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. We talk about sports and life on a daily basis. Yes, we do. And speaking of life, I leave y'all with this to close out the week and to get ready for a brand new week and get ready for a brand new presentation of the Brian Snow Show. And thank you again to Mike Debate for giving us a hand here this afternoon. Gonna have him all next week to talk all things and everything NFL draft. I need a favor from those of you that are watching via CSTV, and for those of you watching via YouTube as well. As a fellow like Liam Hendricks that I talked about this morning that has survived cancer, my wife Jody and I need your help because we are trying to get to our next stop. And with Jody, the only one working in the household, and me being permanently disabled, even though I have survived cancer, I'm being told no by a lot of people and being told no by a lot of jobs that I've applied for. So I figure, screw it. They're going to do that. I'm going to do this. What you see on your screen is the official address, the official web address for my GoFundMe page, as we're trying to raise up a lot of money in a short amount of time so we can get to our next level and get back to life. And we've had some people donate already. It is very much appreciated, but we're going to need some more. So if y'all can, go to GoFundMe, gofund.me/E283E211. That's E283E211. And I want to thank y'all for the donations that have been made and the ones that are going to be made. My time is up. I'm going to get out of here. Let me get a couple more comments in before we take off. Last one comes from Eric Kwan. Christian Gonzalez would not be bad also at cornerback. Where do you think Christian Gonzalez would go? That is the question. Where would Christian Gonzalez fall? Well, we're going to answer all those questions next Thursday night, and if you watch next Thursday night, all those questions will be answered, especially in the first round, because I will be doing live draft coverage of every pick in the first round and basically setting up for draft weekend to cover the draft all the way through, maybe mixing a little play-by-play coverage of baseball, maybe mixing a little play-by-play coverage of basketball. Next week is going to be busy, very, very busy for me. And I want y'all to keep up with us here at Snowman Multimedia. I want to say thank you to everyone that has tuned in today, even with the problems that we have. Going to fix all that. Going to come back to you Monday with some more stuff. And when I say more stuff, I mean just that. Thank you all for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. God bless y'all. I am out of here, and I will see y'all from my office on Monday. God bless y'all, and so long, everybody.
Thank you for tuning into The Brian Snow Show, where sports is the base, life and fun are the results.